Good morning, everybody. We are going to be doing a foam roll and stretch session that is designed to help us improve our flexibility and get deeper into certain stretches. So for this session, you're going to need a mat and you're going to need a foam roller. So let's go ahead and get ourselves set up by taking off our shoes if you have them on, because we're going to be doing some stretches for the soles of the feet, and hop into something that you can move comfortably in. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and start out in a seated position. We are going to cross our legs, we're going to sit up tall, and we're going to place our hands on our knees. From here, we're going to round through the back and drop the chin. And then we are going to press our chest forward, sitting up and looking up at the sky. Round the back, drop the chin. And inhale, chest comes forward, look at the sky. Let's do that one more time, round the back. And then inhale, press chest forward, look at the sky. And then roll the shoulder blades down and back. All right, so now that we've settled a bit more into our stretching session today, we are actually going to start off with the foam roller. So the foam roller is going to be really beneficial to start to help to increase blood flow to the areas and to warm us up for that stretching. So we're going to place the foam roller perpendicular with the mat. So we're going to turn, place the foam roller right underneath our upper back. If you have long hair, go ahead and clip it up or just hold it to the back of your head here. We're going to lift our hips up off the floor, and then we're going to roll from the top of our shoulder blades down to about mid-back, right where that rib cage ends. And then we're going to roll up to those shoulder blades, and then down to the mid-back. Good, continue with this pattern up to those shoulder blades and to mid-back. Breathing through as you go. Good, the next time that foam roller hits about mid-back at the bottom of that rib cage, we're going to set our hips on the floor, bend our knees, and we're going to gently lean back over that foam roller and come back up. Gently lean back and then come back up. From here, we're going to pick the hips up, roll up about an inch, and repeat the same process. Good, one more time here. Pick the hips up, roll down, set the hips down. Drop the head back and sit up. Excellent. From here, we're going to pick those hips up, roll back down, and we're going to use our elbows to help us up off that foam roller. Good. All right, from here, we're actually going to turn the foam roller so that it is parallel to the mat. Excellent. We are going to lift ourselves up and sit our hips at the very end of that foam roller and align our spine along the length of it. From here, I want you to take your elbows up to 90 degrees and then let them fall to the sides. Good, we're getting a generous stretch through the chest here. Making sure that our core stays engaged and that our back is aligned with that foam roller. Good, feel free to bend those elbows and then release back down. Elbows together, release back down. Good. When those elbows are back together, we're going to bring the hands down towards the hips. And then we're going to reach up and over our head as far as we can comfortably go, and then pull back over. You should feel this kind of massage in between the shoulder blades. Again, keeping that core engaged. One last time here. Good. Bringing those elbows back to 90 degrees and opening back up. You can then pull your elbows down towards your hips and then reach up and overhead. Pull those elbows down and reach overhead. One more time. Elbows down and reach overhead. Good. From here, we're going to come off the foam roller by placing a hand to the side of our mat and then rolling off to the side. Very good. All right, for this next portion, we are going to go ahead and turn that foam roller back to perpendicular with the mat. From here, we're going to bring those hips up and on top of that foam roller and place our hands back and behind us. From here, I'm going to cross my right leg over my left, and then I'm going to rock towards that bent knee. And then I'm going to roll through the length of the hip. Breathing deeply through your foam rolling session is so beneficial. It really helps to relax the muscles, which helps you get deeper into your foam roll and helps to release any of the knots or tension that you feel. Good. Then we rock back to center, uncross the leg, and cross the opposite over. From here, we're going to rock to that opposite side, and then again, roll through the length of that hip. Good. Make sure to stay lifted out of those shoulders instead of collapsing in. And to keep that core engaged. Excellent. Let's rock back to neutral and sit up off of our hands for a moment. We're going to take a roll to one direction and the opposite, and then flex through the hands, making a fist, and then releasing the fingers. Good. All right, hands come back once again, and we are going to lift our hips and slide backwards, bringing that foam roller kind of in front of you and underneath the hamstrings. We are going to lift our hips up off the floor, straighten our legs, and we are going to foam roll through the length of the hamstrings. So from the bottom of the hip up to just above the knees. Good. If you feel as if you need a little bit more pressure here, take one foot and cross it over the other to really direct that pressure into one side. Good. We're going to go ahead and switch sides. And then sit the hips down, move that foam roller a bit lower. We are going to cross one ankle up over the other to foam roll through our calves. So I want you to start that foam roller just beneath the knee. We never foam roller over joints. We're going to rock side to side, allowing that calf muscle to release. And then we're going to walk it down one more time. So down an inch. You can adjust the positioning of your foot to see where it feels best for you, either flexing the toes back towards your nose or allowing them to come forward into a relaxed position. Go with the place that you feel this the most intensely. Very nice. One more shuffle forward. And then let's switch sides. Bringing that foam roller up to just below that knee joint and rolling through the top portion of that calf. Good, let's walk that down another inch and continue the same process. Good, all right, one last time, down an inch. And then rock through the belly of the muscle of the calf. If you have a spot that's particularly tight, go ahead and sit and hold on it for a moment to allow that to release. And then continue to rock and roll. Excellent work, team. All right, we're going to pull that one back towards our hips here, and we're going to slide it out to the side. We are now going to turn over, bringing that foam roller in front of us. So we're going to walk into a quadruped position over that foam roller, have the foam roller back towards our knees, and then we are going to bring our elbows down to the floor, lifting our feet up. From here, we're going to roll from the bottom of the hip all the way to the top of the knee, okay? Staying off the joint, but just rolling through the quad. Good, keep those toes straight down towards the floor for the first few rolls here. Excellent, point the toes towards one another to get more into that lateral quad. Excellent, and then have the toes splay out to either side of the room to get more into that medial quad. Good, return those toes back down towards the floor, and then go ahead and point them. Good. Then we're going to walk back, place our knees on the floor, and bring our hands back up and over. From here, we're going to sit up off the foam roller, and we're going to move it to the side. So, setting that foam roller off to the side, and we are going to come down to a kneeling position here. So if this is comfortable for your body, go ahead and join me here. Otherwise, I want you to move into a butterfly position, meaning those feet come together, and we bring the heels in towards the body. From here, I'm going to have you grab your toes and pull backwards, okay? This is going to stretch through the fascia of the foot, so right through the bottom of the foot. If you are in a seated position, we're going to turn those toes underneath and then walk up and sit backwards. You're really going to feel this through the bottom of the feet here, which is where we're trying to target. Good. From here, I'm going to have everybody come to a quadruped position. We're going to walk the knees straight underneath the hips and the hands right underneath the shoulders. From here, we are going to turn the toes under, and then we are going to lift the hips up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to pedal out through the feet. So one knee is going to bend, and the opposite leg is going to straighten. Hands are down on the floor, planted here, and the core is engaged. Stretching through each calf. And a bit through the hamstrings here. Good, bring that back to center stillness, and then we are going to lift our foot up off the floor and bring it towards the back. Feeling that deep stretch through the side body, and then returning back. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Bringing the foot up and over, rotating the hips open, feeling the stretch all the way down our side, and then returning to downward dog. Good. Bring those knees to the floor, and then we are going to move through a cat-cow cow sequence. So, dropping the belly, looking up towards the sky, and then rounding the back, looking down at the floor. Drop the belly, look up, and then round the back, look down. Excellent. One more time. Drop the belly, look up, and round the back, look down. Good. All right, we're going to walk that back, and we're going to move into a forward lunge position. So we're going to bring one leg forward, half kneeling, and have the toes either curled under or flat on the floor, whatever feels best for your body and your knees here. We're going to sit up tall. We're going to make sure that our hips are tucked underneath our shoulders, and then we're going to lean forward. Feeling a deep stretch through the hip flexor here. And taking a few deep breaths. Excellent. If you want a little bit more out of this stretch, we're going to lean forward. We're going to kick that foot up off the floor and reach back and hold on to it. Moving forward into this position here, a little bit deeper. Keeping the core engaged in a long line from our head to our hips. Good, we let that foot drop, and then we're going to switch sides. Opposite knee comes around, and we pull up to that half lunge position. Or half kneeling lunge position, apologies. We're going to curl those toes under, or keep them flat, depending on what feels best for you. We are going to sit up nice and tall, tuck the hips under, and then press forward. Getting that deep stretch through the hip flexor here. Adjusting our positioning as we need. Again, if we want that deeper stretch, we are going to lift that back foot off the floor, reach back, find our balance, and pull that foot in towards the glutes. Nice deep stretch through the hip flexor here and through the quad. Good. Releasing that foot down, we are now going to pull back to a quadruped position. All right, from here, we are going to reach one arm up, tall towards the ceiling, and then we are going to thread it through and under that other arm. So from this side, reaching up, and then threading through. Sitting the hips back, and getting that deep stretch through the thoracic spine. Nice deep breaths here, team. And then we're going to switch to the opposite side. Reaching up and coming underneath. Good. Now half twist position. And then bringing ourselves back up to neutral. Very nice. We are going to walk the knees a little bit wider than the mat, and we're going to sit the hips back for a child's pose. Feeling this through our lats, reaching both hands to one side of the mat. Good, walking both hands through to the opposite side. And then back to neutral. Good, bringing those knees back underneath the hips and sitting up to a full seated position. Very, very nice. All right, from here, we're going to go ahead and turn. Bring one leg in into a folded position here and send the opposite leg out long. We are going to reach up and we're going to reach towards that foot, both hands. Slight bend to that knee to get that higher into the hamstring here. Keeping an upright posture through the spine for this moment. Now, if it feels good, you can go ahead and drop the head forward towards the knee and come into a full forward fold here. Good, hands come down toward that leg, and we roll up to seated. Very nice. From here, we are going to reach just one hand towards that foot, and reach the opposite arm up and over. Getting a good deep stretch through that low back, trying to keep both hips down on the floor. Good, releasing here, and then let's go ahead and switch sides. So opposite leg comes in, I'm just gonna rotate my position on the mat so that you guys can still see. We're gonna bring that opposite leg in, extending the other leg out long. I'm gonna sit up tall, keeping some neutral positioning through my spine and reach towards those toes. So we may be more flexible on one side than the other, that's totally normal. If you need to reach towards that shin, that's absolutely fine as well. Keeping a slight bend to that knee to get higher into the hamstring. And then feel free to drop that head down. Good, gentle release, roll all the way up, and then we take that one hand, same arm as leg is extended, reach down towards those toes, and then reach up and over. Dropping those shoulders down and away from the ears, and keeping both hips down on the floor. Leaning more into this as it feels good for you. And trying to open that chest up towards the ceiling as much as you can. Good, releasing, pulling ourselves back to center. Very nice, everybody. We are now going to move into some stretches for the upper body. So, find a seated position of your choosing, whether that's cross-legged on the floor or with your legs out, whatever feels good for you. We're gonna sit up nice and tall. We are going to bring our hand down to the floor, and then our opposite ear over our shoulder. This should be stretching through the side of your neck from the top of your shoulder to the base of your ear here. And if you need a little bit more, we can use that opposite hand and just lie it on the side of your head. No need to pull into this position, just let gravity help it fall a bit further. Good, rotating that nose towards the armpit or the shoulder here, and pull gently forward. Good, releasing, same process on the other side. So taking my opposite hand down to the floor, my ear over my shoulder, and then reaching that arm up to provide a little bit of overpressure if I need it. Maintaining a tall spine and the shoulders down away from the ears as much as you can. Good, nose comes down towards the shoulder, and then we provide that overpressure again. Good, gentle release, and then bring the hands to the knees and shrug the shoulders up towards the ears and then roll them down and back. Let's do that one more time. Shrug those shoulders up towards the ears, roll them down and back. Okay, feel free to take a couple of circles with the neck. One direction, and then the other. Good. All right, excellent job, everybody. Now we're going to move on to some stretching for the shoulders. So we're going to sit up nice and tall. We're going to interlace our fingers and then we're going to press out and away. Okay, really allow those shoulder blades to drop apart and drop your head towards your chest. So from the side view, interlacing my fingers, pressing forward, dropping my chin to my chest. Stretching up in between those shoulder blades. And then dropping the arms down, sitting up tall. Very good. All right, from here, we're going to take one arm straight across the body, keeping the shoulders rolled down and away from my ears. Sitting up nice and tall, pulling across. Making sure that I'm not holding straight on my elbow joint, which is right here. I either want to be above it or below it. Stretching through the back side of the shoulder here. And then gently releasing down, switching sides. Opposite arm comes across the body. We keep those shoulders down and away from the ears. We keep a nice tall posture. Breathing deeply, making sure that that arm isn't right on that joint. Good, releasing here. We're gonna take a big shoulder roll, up, down and back. Let's do that one more time. Up, down and back, very nice. All right, take one hand and place it on your opposite knee. Sit up tall, and then from your core, I want you to lift and turn, placing your hand back behind you to get into this twist. Getting that thoracic rotation, working just a bit here. Then we bring it back to center, switch sides. Nice and tall, initiating that turn from our core, and then just supporting with that back hand, not pulling or cranking into this position. Good, releasing and bringing both the hands to the knees. Very, very good, team. All right, from here we are going to do another nice stretch for the hamstrings. We're just going to send that out long in front of us. And we're going to reach the hands up and fold forward, keeping a slight bend to those knees and then letting the head drop down. You should feel this a bit through your lats too and kind of through your back, especially as you let that head drop. Good, we roll back up, seated tall, shoulders back. Find that comfortable seat one more time. And we are going to do a stretch for the neck, bend the wrists, and then we're going to wrap it up. Roll those shoulders back. I want you to take your right hand or your left hand and place it on the opposite shoulder, okay? Find the collarbone and then just set it on top. From here, we're turning our head towards that hand and then looking up at the ceiling. You should feel this stretch from the bottom of your chin to the top of your clavicle or your collarbone right here. Good, head comes back to neutral, let's switch sides. Opposite hand comes up, we put our hand on that shoulder, find the collarbone, we look at that hand, and then up and away. release that back down. All right, we're gonna take our hands and we are going to place them together, palms together. We're gonna pull our elbows up and then pull our hands down. Elbows come up, 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 the palms stay together, hands pulled down. You're gonna feel this stretch really well through the bottom of your wrist and your forearm up into that hand a bit. And then we gently release, switch sides. So back of the palms come together here. Move this up so you can see that better. Back of my palms come and touch. My fingertips are coming down to touch here. And then we are pulling the hands up towards the ceiling and sending our elbows down. Making sure that our shoulders aren't shrugging up towards our ears, we're keeping them down and neutral as we stretch through the back of the hand. So we should feel this all the way up through here and then down the forearm. Good, gentle release here. We bring those hands to the knees. We roll the shoulders down and back. And then let's take one nice deep breath to close things out. Nice deep breath in, reaching up tall and release the fingers, push up. And then release, exhale, arms come down to the sides. Good, let's do that one more time. Deep inhale, and release those fingers, press up. Exhale, arms come down to the sides. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me for this foam roll and stretch class. I hope it felt good and that you were able to release some of that tension that you might have been holding. I look forward to seeing you guys next time, and thank you so much.